You are now watching the Queen Chioma.
Yep, 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 yep.
So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So tonight we're going to be talking about why I think Black influencers are losing. And I'm talking specifically to Black female influencers, and even more specifically, I mean those who are part of influencer culture. So beauty influencers, lifestyle influencers, as well as people like myself who do commentary that is based on things that occur with Black women. Now it's obvious that me being a person of color and a woman of color in particular, that there are just natural hardships that we face that are out of our control. But I generally wanted to look into things that we do as Black women that leads to our demise in influencer culture. A lot of times when we have conversations like this, people love to point the finger at all of the detrimental yet factual elements that hinder us from certain successes. But people never really look in the mirror at themselves to see how they further contribute to this. So that's what I actually wanted to do. So I've broken my video down into two main talking points, so let's get right into this video. So the first reason as to why I think Black influencers are losing is because we don't know our own worth. I was recently copied on an email chain that was from a China-based hair company asking for a hair review. And this is a common practice. I think every Black influencer that is even a smidge into beauty has done a hair review on their channel at least one time. So I'm not against it because I do it, but I mainly do it because I do love experimenting with hair. This has been a natural interest of mine since I was literally in middle school. I started off as a beauty channel reviewing hair and other beauty related things. But in this email chain, so many girls were dropping their prices, and it's honestly something I shouldn't have even seen. But a lot of these China-based hair companies have a lack of respect. So instead of emailing people directly and separately, sometimes you might end up on an email chain with 20 other influencers. And then because you're copied on the email, you're getting all of the responses as well. So I was seeing responses of women, Black influencers charging $200 or $300 for a full hair review. And the way how my mouth hit the floor, that the value of your influence as a Black influencer was quoted that low, was really astonishing to me. And I think the real issue is because of those external elements, such as society telling us that we're not worth certain prices or opportunities, or us not getting the opportunities whatsoever, or even our beauty being utilized to market other women. But I also feel as though that last component is because we don't value ourselves. I think culturally, no matter where you're from, as a Black person, we kind of have been conditioned to take what we can get or lowball ourselves because Black people are often very cheap about things. And this is all cultures of Black people everywhere that have these mindsets within them. It's not our fault that the mindsets were created, but it is our fault that we continue to perpetuate it in this day and age. Black is in, Black is the trend, Black is what everybody is striving to be or be a part of or be related to, or at the very least tie themselves to in any way, shape, or form. The dances, the fashion trends, the vernacular, the culture all together is being ripped off by so many different people, and many influencers are selling it to them for very low prices. So I'll say this, if you're an influencer and you think just because you have a small amount of following that you don't need to charge for your time, you're wrong. I'll also say that if you have between 0 and maybe 50,000 followers or subscribers, charge $1,000 for whatever you do. And if you have $100,000 or over, charge $2,000 or $3,000 for whatever you do. And y'all are probably going to say that, that's a lot of money and you may not have that much influence. But if we all got on the same accord and let people know, hey, this is what we are worth, then I'm pretty sure that eventually they'll have to adapt and pay us what we're asking for. You're probably not going to get paid $1,000 or $2,000, but you can at the very least negotiate to a price that isn't $200 like what I saw on that email chain. I don't care if you have 5,000 subscribers, you should be charging $100 or $200 for even the smallest of promo. Literally all of the time, money, and effort it takes for you to showcase the product, you should be paid for. People think it's easy, and it is, but it's still your time and it's still work. And your time is definitely worth something. We have to value ourselves as brands. These girls on Instagram that are seen as the higher earning Instagram models and influencers that relate to the Black community are making a lot of money through their influence. So anybody can do it. I understand we don't get the same opportunities as everyone else. I understand opportunities are scarce. I understand the tokenism that goes into opportunities as an influencer. But collectively, we have to step harder and value ourselves as brands the same way our white counterparts value themselves as brands. There's a page on Instagram called Influencer Pay Gap, and I encourage y'all to go look at that page and see the testimonials from Black influencers and white influencers that that get offered money from the same exact companies, but the pay gap is so different. It's not an issue that can easily be fixed by saying, hey, I just want more money, because then the company has the right to deny you. But it is something that is fixable in the sense that if a company can see that you value yourself, their approach to you may be different. Negotiating is fine, but if you say, hey, I charge $2,000, and they say, well, we only have $200 for you, the conversation is over, okay? Like, because no, like literally because no. That is not a negotiation, that is disrespect. That is not a negotiation, that is insulting your brand and your intelligence. That is not a negotiation, that's in a sense being played for a fool. Because if they think that they can get you to agree to a price that is below fair, then they'll think that every Black influencer is the same way. And they do, especially the China-based hair companies. Because so many Black influencers that are considered micro-influencers have said, hey, I'll do a full-length video and I'll do it for free and I'll accept the free hair even though I have 10,000 subscribers or whatever. And then in return, they throw the ones with just a little bit more of a following, just a little bit more money, when in reality, everybody deserves to be making a decent amount of money for your time. You can calculate that minimum wage multiplied by the hours that you worked on unboxing the product, installing it or showing it, using it, and then editing your video, all of your equipment needed to edit the video, and then even the equipment needed to make the product what it is on camera, especially if it's a beauty product. All of that adds up. If you're trying to review an eyeshadow palette, you still have to buy brushes and a primer and lashes to go with the entire look. All of that is part of your inventory that should be compensated for. So yes, you'll see the big name influencers getting a lot more money and free products, but those are usually the token Black influencers that they allow to get good opportunities so they can equalize their actions with non-Black influencers to basically save face. There is not enough Black influencers that get the recognition that they deserve and the opportunities that they deserve. So the last thing we're going to do is devalue our brands for those of us who are smaller or on the come up because you think you're not big enough or worth all of the energy that you're putting into this. At the end of the day, this is a job for some people and it should be treated as such, and none of you would negotiate your salary or wage with your manager to something that doesn't suit you. None of us should be working for free, and I want Black women across the board, whether you're an influencer or a small Black owned business, to never devalue your brand to please people's inadequate pockets or think that you're just supposed to take what you can get. Value your brand at all times. Now, the second point that I feel really affects Black influencers and causes us to continually lose is the discrepancies in support. Now, I will be the first one to say and always say that not every Black woman should be supported. You don't have to support a Black woman just because she's a Black woman. And blindly and mindlessly supporting someone because they're Black is actually very stupid. But supporting people who try, people who have good intentions, people who give you some form of benefit, whether it's knowledge, entertainment, or an actual physical product, should be something instilled in you moving forward. After you've really taken the time to decipher if you really like said person or said person's product, I definitely think you should learn to support it and put people on. I think Black women are the fastest people to withdraw their support of other Black women for the pettiest reasons. White people will always continue to do way better than us in business, obviously because they have an unfair natural advantage, but also because they don't waver their support. Meaning, usually when a white lady would approach another white lady with her business plan or idea or her product, if that said white lady likes it, she'll buy it and she'll buy another one and she'll tell other people because it's just instilled in them to support one another. But Black people have to jump through hoops, loops, and swoops to even get a loyal customer as well as get support from a community that is already marginalized. The first thing that a lot of Black women usually do is hate on a business, pick apart the business, tell others what is wrong with the business, and they do this publicly, and then they think that that business is supposed to really thrive when you were so quick to speak down on it and not even give it a chance. You see so much gentrification going on because there are white companies who have the support of their family and friends and the community to open up 1,000,001 coffee shops in your downtown, and they're usually very successful. But there are small Black businesses that are opening up hair salons and food trucks and so forth that Black people will be very much reluctant to support because of so many different excuses. They'll say things like, well, I already go to this person, or she's just trying to copy off of this person, or hers is just not that good, even though it may be that good. It's just like this natural catty behavior of Black women. And again, I would never mindlessly or blindly support anybody just because they're Black. But if they're doing something and making an effort to try, I don't understand how Black people and Black women in particular always have something to say. And I'm going to use myself as an example because I know there are some raggedy bitches listening right now who are only here to hate on me. So somebody sent me a link a few weeks ago and it was some individuals on Lipstick Alley basically saying that my modeling agency looks sketchy. And I don't even care that it was on Lipstick Alley because y'all put that shit on my YouTube channel as well. And I'm no longer going to defend my business unless I really have to. But I find it very funny that Black women sat here and complained about there needing to be a need of representation and a need for Black owned businesses to support and compete with bigger businesses. And although I did get overwhelming support from a a lot of y'all and continue to, I was actually a little bit surprised that people had some negative things to say about petty reasons that didn't showcase a bad business. If the business is bad, it's bad, and you should be called out for being bad. But if it's not, then don't just hate on it just because you don't like what somebody said or you just don't like what's going on. I say all of this to say a lot of Black women really need to look at themselves in the mirror and understand that all odds are already against us. So your lack of support for somebody trying to do the right thing and your quickness to belittle something before you give it a chance to see its growth is very weird. It literally adds to the negative stereotypes that we're always angry, because even if we're angry with other people, let's look within how we treat one another when we're trying to do something right. It's usually silliness before support. I think if we all understand that it's harder for a Black business to get started and your support can be something as simple as following somebody's page or platform, that really does go a long way in the long run. I want to see a better approach to the support that we have for one another, because there's enough money on this platform and others for all of us to do well. So that is it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Please leave your commentary on my commentary down below. Please follow my new Instagram page. It is pinned in the comment section down below. Don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media networks, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
Oh, hail the queen, give me TLC, or I'ma hit you in your left eye. Got niggas on the geek squad, Glock on deck, keep it kill tap, call it best by Nigerian queen with the green, white, green, and you know the team stay rapping for the west side. Wanna take my pick, and I turn to the right, and I put my butt out, cause damn, that's my best side. Sleeping on me, I'm on the top bunk now, toes action, cause you're all white, getting punked out. Good gas might leave your chest and spell skunked out. Then you on else everywhere like I flunked out. Don say talk quiet, but he a little exploded. Big back, Glock left side, hip inside holster. Little ace, he'll pull your car, he a joker. Yeah, it's Queen Chioma, sitting on your face, I'm a choker. Yeah, it's Queen Chioma, pushing on her son in a stroller. You might be italicized and underlined, but yeah, I'll always be bolder. My money long and y'all money short, and y'all bank account on midget. Y'all bitches broke and y'all bag is weak, and my bag stay in fitness. They know I'm the queen, they cheering for me when y'all on stage is crickets. They know I get bread, they know I make dough, they know I be baking them biscuits. They know I got comments for days, I have no limit, I get the commission.